Bitcoin just absolutely puking, as I like to say.
$400 million liquidated in 2 hours from Bitcoin today.
Totally erasing some of those gains so far.
Dipping 9% and erasing all the gains that Bitcoin had on yesterday.
Prices tumbling by the most on an intraday basis since back in March.
And because of that, $400 million has been liquidated in 2 hours yesterday.
Now, this is, of course, ahead of the SEC's January 10th deadline to decide on a spot Bitcoin ETF. So that anticipation of that upcoming event might be part of this. We could be seeing heading into that day, a maybe buy the rumor, sell the news event as we get closer. But it doesn't look like that's what we're seeing today. Just to run through a couple specifics here, Bitcoin USD down 7.5%, Ethereum down 7.8%. This morning.
Matrixport, a financial services company, released a report which triggered this 9% crash, saying they expect the SEC to reject all ETF applications this month. On the basis of this report, Bitcoin price dumped 9% in 1 hour. And what's their justification? Politics. Saying the current 5-person voting commissioner's leadership, critical for the ETF approval of the SEC, is dominated by Democrats. Mentioning Democrats don't like crypto. The second thing mentioned in the report, saying applicants haven't satisfied the SEC's requirements. And thirdly, there is no political justification to approve a Bitcoin ETF. Will the spot Bitcoin ETF approval has 75% probability of sell the news event? Listen.
All right, so why shouldn't we believe that the Bitcoin ETF approval isn't a sell the news event? It seems like there's so much riding on this approval. There's so much of the rally predicated on that when it happens, what next?
Yeah, right. I mean, listen, as a trader, my gut always tells me if things go higher, I get a little bit scared, right? So I do think a lot of the speculative fever around the ETF is probably reaching a crescendo this week. So yeah, could we get a sell-off? Sure. But I think that would be a sell-off, a dip to buy, because remember, there are still a lot of people that have not been able to buy Bitcoin for their portfolio. So even a 1 to 2 to even 5% allocation in IRAs or from private wealth managers, they're going to be buying the ETF over the year.
But there is a good news for Bitcoin hodlers. Jim Carmer, a person who was against crypto last year, saying he can't kill Bitcoin, and it is here to stay. Listen.
All right, ahead of the open, which is about 2 minutes from now, take a look at Bitcoin. Above $45,000. That would be the first time since April of 22. You can see, and obviously it had a great year last year.
Yeah, we got that clearing event of Sam Bankman-Fried going down, and that seemed to make people feel, what, we're safe. And then the ETF.
We continue to wait.
Endless
for the ETF. Right.
And look, it's very rare that I've ever seen that this way. Could it be a waiting for Godot? I mean, no, but there will be an ETF. But I do think that the people who are in it for that are going to use that as a chance to sell. But this thing is, you can't kill it.
No, you can't.
And the late Charlie Munger, who was so brilliant on so many things, was blind to this. Now you can say, wait a second, maybe it's all going to come
Jamie
unravel.
Dimon has not spared any negative words.
No, but look, I mean, it's a reality and it's a technological marvel, and I think people have to start recognizing that it's here to stay. The SEC's been against it almost the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that every one of these is here to stay, but I do think that this is a remarkable comeback that was unexpected, except for all the bulls who have turned out to be right.
Gensler does a lot of jawboning.
Didn't work.
A lot of jawboning.
So why did Bitcoin pump yesterday? What are the reasons for that? CNBC explains why Bitcoin pumped to $45,000.
Hey, David, good morning. So Bitcoin's new bull run, it's being driven by two upcoming events. First, there's this hope for an ETF approval, and then something called the halving that's coming up in April. It's up 65% or so in the past 3 months. ETF, that is the big driver, guys, of this price action. The SEC has a January 10th deadline to approve or reject the ARK 21 shares ETF. That's Kathy Wood's proposal there. Reuters reporting that the SEC could notify issuers as soon as this week if they've been cleared to launch those ETFs. If approved, guys, this would be a publicly traded fund tracking the price of Bitcoin. So investors theoretically wouldn't need to go to a crypto exchange or hold Bitcoin directly themselves. So it may lower the barrier to entry here because of that, some are arguing it's going to bring in a wider range of investors and then potentially more institutional interest. Then you've got something called the Bitcoin halving. That's coming up in April. The key thing to know about that, Bitcoin's new issuance gets cut in half. So it's a way to keep a cap on supply there. The code is written so there's only ever 21 million coins in circulation. This dynamic makes it less profitable, though, to earn new Bitcoin and more competitive for what are known as the miners. So these are the companies using those massive, high-powered computers to create new Bitcoin, those mining stocks. You think of Marathon Digital, Riot Blockchain, those guys up about double digits today or so. MicroStrategy and Coinbase also higher this morning. Actually, Coinbase turning lower, down 6% or so. The other driver for Bitcoin, though, same thing, driving tech, small cap tech especially, some of the lower interest rates heading into this year, potentially, and return of risk appetite among retail investors, guys.
Do you agree? Let us know your thought in comments section below. Like this video and subscribe to channel for more videos like this.